One of the most common asked questions on this channel, besides Mr. X, why is your voice so high, is who would you recommend when buying statues? Now, this video is not about, hey, this is the place to go buy statues, although some of that will come up. It's also not about, hey, these are what to do to protect yourself from scamming, although some of those things will come up as well. In fact, I recently did a video back here where I talked about how I've been scammed from a lot of people. And again, we might revisit a few of those topics. But in 2024, as the world continues to spin out of control and money gets tighter and tighter, people have to do stuff they normally wouldn't do. I mean, I've been there.
BJ's here. Get your BJ's. Get your red hot BJ's. Toothless and ready to go. Just $3. $3. Get your BJ's here.
So, with that, some people who are selling statues or other things may get in trouble, and you, the buyer, are going to be the one who pays for it. So, people really want a reliable source on, hey, who can I buy a statue from? And while I'm not going to answer that today, I am going to tell you why I'm not going to answer that. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme Channel. My name is Mr. X. We're about extreme collectibles here, and it's another, I would say, statue talk. Normally, I really like my videos to be formatted and planned. This one isn't so much. I just thought of this idea because in 2024, there's been a lot of churn lately, and I have a lot of experience both buying from trusted sellers and then buying from sellers that ended up being shady, and me seeing some signs and staying away. And again, that's not what this video is necessarily about, but you can look at this video right here and it's basic tips on how to protect yourself from being scammed. And I think there's a loose definition of scamming. Scamming is somebody who is starting with the intention to rip you off. And we've seen a lot of things in the statue community over the year of 2024 where what once were reputable sellers end up not delivering pieces and some people lose money. Now you may classify that as a scam. I could be convinced of that argument. You know, and I've said this before, I think a lot of those sellers, they legitimately start out good, but shit happens. Maybe it's shit because they made some bad decisions. Maybe it's shit because people they're in business with made bad decisions. Maybe it's shit because they had shitty customers who fucked them over. Nonetheless, doesn't alleviate the responsibility. If you give someone some money for a good, they need to either deliver that good or give you your money back, period. There's no gray area here. So with that, like I said, people reach out to me a lot and they're like, hey, Mr. X, have you bought from this person? Are they reliable? Now I'm going to be a little hypocritical here because every single video I have in the description below is where to buy statues. And primarily there's two places that I buy statues from that are on that list. Number one is Spec Fiction. And this is not in particular order, but Spec Fiction. And I do that for a lot of reasons. So the owner of Spec Fiction, I actually connected with him way before Spec Fiction was a big thing. He has stayed at my house. Him and I have hung out in New York, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Denver. We're very tight, and I trust him a lot because he tells me a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And this guy, I know he's legitimate. I know he's backed. I trust him. Now, as a full disclaimer, some of the other people I'm going to talk about that I did trust, no longer do, screwed me. Now, I didn't trust them as much as I do Todd. Another great one is Comic Concepts, Josh. So, again, I've hung out with him multiple times. Just a fantastic guy. He's financially backed. Comic Concepts is his passion. He has this great background. I trust him a lot, so I would buy from him. Not to mention, they're both reputable stores. Now, there's some other ones that aren't in the link of my description that I've bought from in the past that have never done me wrong. But I'm not going to recommend them, and here's why. I'm going to tell you a few stories. Story number one. Do you recall this RoboCop statue? So this RoboCop statue was made by an artist named ARP, Aaron Ray Perez. And I'd bought from him personally before, statues that he made, statues that he produced, no problem. People were reaching out to me and they're like, hey, I want to buy this RoboCop, Mr. X. Are you buying it? And I was like, yes, I am. And they said, can I trust this guy? I said, yes, you can. Ended up, we couldn't trust the guy. Not only did he send broken statues to everybody, and I mean severely demolished. They were hollow, so they broke in thousands of pieces. But the guy said, oh, I can't do anything. I'm sorry, you're out $1,500 to dozens and dozens of people, including people I told that they could trust him. Same exact thing happened with this Black Panther statue. So I bought the prototype and I did a review on it. Well, unfortunately, the piece of shit, Adam Ang, he took everyone's money with the studio, Aventelier Arts, and ran with it. And I'd recommended Adam because I'd done quite a few transactions with him on that and some other things. And he always had great communication and seemed like a stand-up guy. He owned a few other companies. But in the end, he was a piece of shit that took everybody's money. So I'd recommended him, and then he ran away. So those are kind of some scars that I have that I'm not going to forget, and it makes me hesitant to recommend anyone. And that's where the hypocrisy comes in. I know I just talked about Comic Concepts and Spec Fiction, and there's some other ones I buy from. There's some I trust with my money immensely. And I'm 99.9999999% sure that Josh and Todd aren't going anywhere, and you can trust them completely. But shit happens too. And some of the other ones I'm not mentioning, I'm probably not as confident in. I'm probably 99% confident. I don't want to recommend them in the case that something like that happens. Because here's where the real danger comes as a small-time influencer. A lot of people listen to what I have to say due to my experience. A lot of people listen to what I have to say because for some reason they think I'm smart. Or some people don't know. They just say, hey, here's a guy who has a lot of statues. He must know what's going on. And let's say that I promote somebody who's a decent seller for a bunch of pieces, maybe video after video for a long period of time. And then they end up scamming people or not delivering the product. Well, I could certainly make a public video about that saying, hey, don't buy from this person. But I have hundreds of other videos promoting that person. Chances of a new buyer seeing the one video me talking about them being a scammer compared to the hundreds of videos where I'm telling you to buy from him is pretty fucked up. Now, if I was really about the community, which I often say I am, I would go delete every single video that promoted that person. So, for example, the Avatelier Arts video, I promoted him in a video before, and I have it on the video, do not buy this guy's a scammer, stay away. So it was one video, and hopefully if they see that, they read it. It's in capital letters, the first thing in the description. The RoboCop, I've never promoted him in a video telling people to buy from him, so I'm not too worried about that. But you have to be conscious of these things if you are going to promote people. I mean, realistically, right now, in the 0.0000001% chance that Spec Fiction or Comic Concepts decided not to deliver people statues, I'd have to go back through every single video I promoted them and either delete those videos if I verbally talked about them, or if I promoted them in the description, change the descriptions of every single one. That's a lot of work, but I would definitely do it because I don't want other people falling victim to bad circumstance based off of my recommendation, like happened with the Black Panther on Throne and the RoboCop. So as an influencer, good, bad, or ugly, which some of us are good, some of us are bad, and some of us are ugly, you have a social responsibility to help watch out for the community in a positive way. And that means putting the community in front of yourself sometimes. And while I'm sure I haven't done that every single time, I want to do it as much as possible. So that's why I won't promote certain people or certain things. A lot of times people will reach out to me, hey, do you recommend this? And I was like, I don't recommend anybody. And again, for the third time, I understand there's some hypocrisy there if you look at the description below. And to be fair, both of those companies, as well as some other ones out there, so their level of trust in me is just as high as my level of trust in them. And one thing, I was hanging out with Josh from Comic Concepts recently, and we were just talking about, talking shit and the business, and I go to him, I like to think I'm a very low maintenance customer. Like if I have a broken piece, usually I don't even tell him I fix it. If it's severely broken, I'll reach out. Then like 8 to 12 months will go by before I even follow up because I'm not in a hurry. Same thing with when my statues are arriving. I don't bug them when it's arriving. I know it'll arrive when it arrives. And they'll always give me decent guesstimate windows if I ask too. But I told him I like to think I'm a really low maintenance customer. He's like, you have no idea. You are the best type of customer out there. So I think their level of trust in me is high because I'm such a low maintenance customer. And I'm the best type of customer because I always pay. Because you got to remember, as frustrated as you may get with some people who are delivering statues to you, they're just as frustrated with some of their customers who are super anal, break stuff when it arrives to get a discount, demand a discount, always complain about timelines, shit like that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Again, I don't know if this video went in the direction I wanted it to. My voice has always been high, just as a disclaimer. Even when I was like 14, I'd answer the phone back when we had wall phones and rotary phones, and they'd be like, excuse me, ma'am. But anyway, who do you like to buy from? If you're willing to recommend them, be cautious. Throw that down in the comments below, because every comment can win you a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Just a different topic. Please give it a like, get some visibility to this video so people are more cautious and protect their money. But in the meantime, I'll talk to you guys soon. If you like stuff like this, hit the sub button. Take care.